What is going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another Ploto Gaming live stream where we are going to be watching a little bit of our own KvK actually. With the Pass 4's opening, I believe, today. Yeah, there you go. Pass 4's opening. You can see some people already lining up on the other side. These are opponents in the top right corner versus the right side of our allies in 1486 and 1486 and 1770. So it should be a pretty interesting matchup. Some notable names in both of these kingdoms. We got Fun Arvix, of course, being in 75 DC. They were the winners of Sobek last season, season 7 of Osiris League. Osiris League champion season 7, realm of Sobek. A pretty strong kingdom. Dirty Dan's currently there as well. As a YouTuber, as you know, a fellow Osiris League caster, who casted with me this season of Osiris League. And we also have 3105, which is a younger kingdom, but that is actually Lefty the Spartan's kingdom. I've rated him a couple times. He's also a content creator. You know, does some streams, like he does daily barb chaining streams, old Ploto vibes. But we could go ahead and take a look at what they got going on over here as well. Really young accounts, almost 1 billion KP. Should be fun to see how these two kingdoms interact versus, you know, our allies in 1486 and 1770. 1770 might be a familiar name because we did fight them for a full week before Kingsland last KvK. Their opponents, Brian Koo, of course, another content creator and caster this season with me. So it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be a pretty fun zone. This zone, in case you are uninformed about Alliance Invictus like I was, is Alliance Invictus, in my opinion, is like a really spicy hybrid of Siege of Orleans in terms of the map style, but also, what's the other KvK called? The normal one? Heroic Anthem. Where the Zone 5 actually doesn't matter. You get some Bastions, sure. You get a Huron, I believe, which gives you 5% troop attack, but instead of that, you don't really get much. So they're essentially fighting for bragging rights, but I think it'll be a good litmus test to see the relative strength between these two camps. Let me say hi to the chat real quick. Cold Mac with the first. What's up, man? Not first since it's overrated to Corn Army. What's up, man? Celestial Val? I'm not fighting myself, but yeah, good luck to our allies, because I mean, on paper, Windcamp should be the strongest of our allies. So, you know, their performance is going to be really interesting to see because it's really disputed as to which one is the strongest camps of our opponents, because 2975 is really strong. They have like 2748 in this camp, which is really strong, and of course they have 1824 in the bottom right. So it's going to be interesting to see because the relative strength of all these camps should be pretty similar. So we'll see what happens. They've been chasing easy KvK since the start. Which kingdom are you talking about? And Daria, what's up? Before we get into the fight, so the reason why I started the stream a bit early, we have 30 minutes before the pass is open. We have the timer in the top left over here. I have not done a lot of things, and the event is ending today, the Esmeralda's Prayer event. So I was thinking we'll spin Esmeralda's Prayer. I'm thinking about maxing it. We'll see how we do with the special events or the special slots and how we spin, but Esmeralda's Prayer is actually one of the best events in terms of value for equipment choice chests, which, you know, if you're a Rise of Kingdoms player, you always need more materials. So we're going to be spinning Esmeralda's Prayer at least before the pass opens here. And, you know, talking to chat, seeing predictions and all that kind of stuff. Let me actually put up a poll as we do Esmeralda's Prayer. Who do you think will win the zone? It would be Earth Camp, which is 2975 slash 3105 or Windkin, which is 1486 slash 1770. I'm getting proud of myself because I'm remembering the camp or the kingdom numbers now. It usually takes me a while to remember the kingdom numbers, but I guess we're getting to that point. Let me see if I can turn on one of these. No. Okay, which one? Chilling Ice, thanks for the sub. 2975 talked so much big against 2934 and they ran away from 2934 at last minute by changing KvK format last minute. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know, and I know there's a lot of drama with some of the kingdoms in this KvK, but I'm not really too informed, as I made a video about previously. The matchmaking was, and when, you know, all of that stuff comes out and you learn about all that stuff, I was actually in the Los Angeles Rise of Kingdoms meetup, so I'm not really too in the know with what's going on. But without further ado, let us go ahead and start this Esmeralda. You can actually max this event, I've been told, without actually maxing the bundle, as long as you've done all the events. Unfortunately though, I did miss one of the days of that Battle Royale game mode that gave a coin, so I don't know if I'll still be able to max it, but we'll see how my luck is. Let's go ahead and start off with the first spin. The reason why Esmeralda is really, this event is really good if you're a spender, or even F2P I guess, or low spender, is the amount of materials. 10 materials, you get 16 materials, 10 gold heads, you get 26 legendary materials essentially. For the amount of gems that you spend on this event, like it's a pretty decent bang for your buck. You also get some blueprints. Like the things on this wheel, the only things that are useless is pretty much the resources, of course, the blueprint fragment choice chest for purple weapons, which of course I spun. Everything else is pretty usable, so with that in mind, we'll continue spinning this. See, like, these are, it's not the best spin, but at least we got materials and we got a blueprint. Oh, I got the, it's 3125. 3125. Should I redo the poll? I'll redo the poll. We are not fighting the zone Ritz. We're just spectating and cheering on our allies, unfortunately. I think that was one of the reasons why the matchmaking was so contentious, is because people wanted a zone 5 fight. But yeah, oh, there we go. We got some 1606 in the chat. I wish I watched that KvK. I actually don't know what happened in that KvK because I was in LA, but I heard that you guys lost Kingsland, which sucks. Ploto clickbait. I mean, our fights technically begin, but it's just I won't be fighting. It's a little bit of a watch party here. The fights for us actually begins, I believe, like September 6th, which is going to be Zone 7. That's why this map is like, this matchmaking is going to be pretty weird. I think we have like ruins or altars like next week, but you know, those don't really matter too much. The actual fight starts September 6th, which is so far away. 606 strong AF. Rare EU stream. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at chat. We got one of the special spots, which is actually pretty crazy. How many spins in are we? 22, and we already got one of the special spots. I mean, we'll take it. I think I haven't really been streaming too much. I really should start streaming more, but at least when pass openings happen, they're always EU friendly. But appreciate having you here, Mr. Smoke Turkey. You got to fight with 1029. You got Lambo fight with a Lambo and friends this afternoon. I think there's gonna be a lot of pass openings today. As there were like a lot of kingdoms in this rotation for some reason. Yeah, as long as Kingsland was fun. I mean, 1365, even though people are saying they're not peak, they're still, you know, a really, really strong kingdom in 1903. I mean, we fought them. Oh my gosh, wait! 2 specials already? What is going on? Wait, let me see if this works. Just yapping and chatting in the chat. We already have 2 of the special slots. Unfortunately, I'm out of coins already, but what is... And watch, but the thing is, now I got the two, I'm never gonna get this, so I'm never gonna unlock the wheel. I already know how Lilith is playing me, bruh. Let me go ahead and buy the bundle though. So I know you have to buy the first 3 levels. Finally finished the quest here. So now we have 15 coins. We'll see how we do with these 15. Streamer RNG. Yeah, streamer luck's not a thing unless you're redline, I guess, but maybe this is chat luck because I'm just reading chat, not even looking at the spins. Like usually I get like I get like super animated about this stuff, but I kind of want to spin through it as much as possible because the pass opening is going to be in how long? A couple minutes. Looks like the streamer luck's finally running out here. I bought the 50% already. I bought them before stream started. Here, let me show you. Yeah. Oh, I was about to say. Now that I'm looking at it, it's not giving me anything. That's unfortunate. So the real question is, I think I just continue buying the 3, no? Or do I buy the bundle? Nah, I'm cheap. I'm like F2P nowadays, guys. Like, people used to call me a whale. That's no longer the case. I don't buy dailies anymore. Been trying to cut down on the spend a little bit, which is funny because I maxed Trajan, which I feel like I'm never gonna use now. But then I kind of want to max YSS for my city, but I'm just not buying dailies anymore. All right, let's just keep spinning. Once a whale, always a whale. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. When I was in the LA meetup, I'm like, damn, some of these guys like are whales IRL. Like in the spendy way. In the spendy way. I missed one of the events, so I might have to... Oh, you know what? I didn't do... Oh shit, I didn't do the race against time because I was in LA. Fuck. So I do have to buy the bundle, no? To reach 90? Yeah, I missed that. Oh, Artemisia pillow? You know what's funny? It's in my mom's room. It's just chilling there. I brought it home. I haven't touched it. All right. I think I'll just buy the bundle now then. How many flux do I have is a real question. Flux. We have... Oh, we don't have that much, not gonna lie. We have like, what? 2 more bundles worth? And I have to max Mountain Warfare too. I didn't max Mountain Warfare yet. It's okay. Oop. Alright. This is me being new Ploto. Watch, I bought the bundle now and we're just gonna insta-get it right here. I told you. What did I say? What did I say? Oh my gosh. There is no way that just happened. Oh my gosh, what? Yo, that's a clip, bro. That's a clip. I swear I did not plan that. I don't know what's going on, but I guess we'll take it. Alright, well, I mean, 73 spins is a lot better than what I've had in the past. So, good stuff. We finished the wheel, got all 3 of the stuff. We got all of the freebies. I mean, Esmeralda's wheel as like a mid spender is actually a really, really good event. Low spender probably, I don't even know how you do it. It's just a lot of gems, I guess. I am Canadian, yes. Shorts? Yo, I have to edit. That's the thing. Editing is a real problem. Okay, so we finished Esmeralda's wheel. How much longer do we have until pass opens? 18 minutes. Okay. To our kingdom and allies in this KvK, we are still dedicated to this KvK. Look at this. Boom. We got the Mountain Warfare. Just to show that we are still investing in Crystal Tech. Alright. But I'm going full econ. I guess we could do a little bit of a account update since this KvK started. Well, what would I do? I guess power. I've been training up a lot for Bastion quests. I'm at 85. I think I started at 83. So, you know, slowly but surely getting up there in terms of power. Kind of still aiming for 1 mil of each troop type. We're slowly but surely getting there. I'll probably have to do one really big batch of training. Didn't know pre-KvK training because I was in LA. Let me just claim some of these goldies of myself. What else? Honor points, I guess. It's pretty abysmal. I have not. I think I went to 1 rune, or the first rune, and I missed the other 2. Have not been barb chaining as much. Just been using my free AP. I've been actually getting a lot of the Bastion quests for forts, which is really good, but it's not the best for honor. My Bastion quests, I'm at level 7 for Herman, level 7 for Boudica, level 6. Unlocked all of the skills. People that's been in Alliance Invictus, there's 7 Bastions in home zone, right? I'm pretty sure. I've unlocked all of the skills for that at least, but I don't know. I feel like 7's such an odd number that I don't know why they put a prime number for Bastions, but I think that's all of the Bastions there are. Or maybe it's just my kingdom that no, I think there is only 7. Do I max tech? I don't. The thing about max tech is it really depends on when you max tech. Like I max tech probably by Kingsland. I bought like maybe 1 or 2 days of the Conqueror's Wills, which is the daily crystal bundles. I used to buy them daily until fights, but you know, lowering the spending bit by bit. This is a bit painful because it's like siege tech, and I don't even have T5 siege unlocked, so I don't. When I was talking about 7th marches, people were saying that you should use a range march, which I believe range is pretty good. I was able to use it for that test KvK or whatever for gears, what, shifting gears or whatever. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't have the technology. I don't have T4.5 siege. So I feel like that's gonna have to be something I invest in sooner or later, but I'm just not doing it now. The reason why I never invested in siege tech is because it's Imperium burden, and I just didn't want to have extra technology power as Imperium burden. I think I'm saving the kingdom, like what? Or not Imperium, even matchmaking burden, because we're not even Imperium anymore. But, you know, saving as much power as possible, I guess, was the mindset. Oh, what? What do I need? What do I need for this? 8 and 8. Oh, already there, pretty much. I guess we could do a little bit of a crystal tech update. Let me at least get some helps for this. So we just, I mean, you guys just witnessed me going through attack 2. I'm going full econ because our fights are not going to be for like another 2 weeks. Although I guess it would be more beneficial if I barb chain more, but I haven't really been barb chaining. Maybe I'll do a barb chaining stream this week just to catch up. But yeah, the farthest I've been is Call to Arms 1. We're going very focused on econ. Just so that I could get, I'm probably gonna also get treaties to Culture Exchange to maxed. Just so that like the second zone bastions, like they won't have like these weird numbers. You can see with the favor, it's like 20, 64, 16. When you have your Culture Exchange and treaties, or is it which one? Favor. So it's Culture Exchange. Whenever Culture Exchange maxed, it'll be a round number. It's, I don't know. This is a weird habit, I guess. My field marches. I guess we could take a look at that as well. How would I do that? I guess expedition. I guess could look here. This is my presets at least. Guan CPO. We have Liu Alex. Li Young with Herman. Is this Huoqi Bing with Belisarius? I'm probably gonna switch this up actually. I'm probably gonna go Huoqi Bing with William and bench the belly, and then we have Nevsky with Joan. The 6th March would probably be Boudica with. Oh no, it might be. People were telling me Boudica's bad. I was getting DMs about it and people in the chat saying that. Because I made a video about my potential marches, saying that Ashurbanipal with YSG or Ashurbanipal with Nebu might be a better option. So I might explore. It's definitely going to be some second Archer March, but I'm not exactly sure what the Archer March will be yet. I gotta consult because and look at the options, I guess. Boudica is strong. C Will said it. I mean, if C Will is saying Boudica is strong, then Boudica is strong, you know? People hating on Wind. I think Earth is just more known, I guess. Like, you know, Fuzz streaming right now. They're Osiris League champions of the past, so... Like, our allies are definitely not... I mean, I guess none of the kingdoms here are... Like, if we talk about known KDs, no one really knows any... Like, our KDs are not as popular as the 1093s, 2049s, 960s of the world, right? So, I don't know. Maybe people will just know 2975 from Osiris League. Alright, there you go. We're maxed Econ Tech, essentially. Maybe Karaku's Gifts. I don't even know the ROIs on these. I'm sure someone's done the math, but... Yeah, I don't know yet. The thing about Karaku's Gifts that sucks is... You only get the good stuff after the KvK is over, and this used to not be the case. You used to be able to get at least 4 levels before Kingsland, but now, like, Kingsland opens, Zig opens actually, and then you get the 3rd level, and then the 4th level, and the 5th level. So now Karaku's Gifts is essentially just a, or Karaku's, what do you call this? Sorry, Trial of Kal Karak is essentially just so that people could finish their tech after KvK ends, which kind of sucks. So I don't know why I'm maxing this, but I already did it, so. Alright, if I'm maxing Plunder, we're gonna do one of those streams where I stream until Richard dies. Oh god, it's gonna be so... I don't even know if I have the capabilities of doing that anymore. We have 9 minutes until pass open. Okay. We're almost there. Joan Hua, upstart, and William Lewandowski. I'm not really too sure. I don't know the exact reasoning, but there's something weird about how Hua's rage reduction actually makes it so Joan's 4th skill doesn't proc as fast. Like, Hua's rage reduction actually makes it too fast, where Hua's rage reduction actually makes it so Joan's 2nd skill doesn't proc every other skill, so it proc every 3rd skill, which is a reason why people don't really use Hua with Joan. I might be wrong though, someone in chat could correct me. Yeah, Skitty, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should have you on stream, because you're our campmates. It'd be pretty interesting. Again, we could go ahead and look at the pet. We're gonna be watching this pass over here, or this zone over here, Wei G. Our allies versus our opponents here. Opening in about 9 minutes. You could see everyone starting to murder ball up. Oh man. Are these main accounts? I'm like seeing Lohars and Belisarius, not Prime, so we'll have to see how they do in that zone. What KvK is it for 3105? Is it KvK 5? KvK 6? This is the 2nd kingdom of the 3K variety that we played. KvK 7. Oh, okay. How come BP already migrate out? That's a good question for BP. I think he's like busy or something, and I don't know. He already has a kingdom. I still have to make a video about this, but maybe that's what I'll do later. Did you do map overview and allies overview yet? I did that in a different stream. I did that on a different stream, Jazz Up. But I guess the biggest thing is, I mean, we could go ahead and just look at the rankings, I guess, in terms of alliance power and alliance kills. I'll show you which ones are fighting in this zone. 1770 is our allies. They're gonna be fighting 2975. 1486 is our allies. And then where is 3105? 3105 down here are the allies of 2975, or yeah, 2975. So if we go ahead and look at alliance kills, it's 2nd versus 5th and 7th. 2nd and sorry, I forgot. 2nd and 12th versus 6th and 7th. So is BP? No, that's Peacemaker. Peacemaker's still here. This is all A seed, yeah. This is an A seed KvK. Some of them are Fringe Imperiums, but that was. Oh wait, never mind. This is Imperium KvK now. 1394 was already Imperium. 1756 is our allies from last KvK, and 1770 is also our allies. So it's pretty interesting that we have 3 Imperium allies, I guess. All right, let's see if I can max out my crystal tech before in 5 minutes. Boop. 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 See how far up we could get up the tree. I think this KvK is pretty interesting because all of the Bastion skills, I don't know if they changed this for Heroic Anthem as well, but all of these skills are actually useful. Like, they're all open field relevant, which wasn't the case for Heroic Anthem. There'd be like a bunch of like, if hit city, gain like 10 attack or something. But since all these skills are actually usable in the open field, being active and doing your bastions is actually very, very rewarding. Because there's 7 skills, and at least for me, I had to use up all of my bastion skill chances to unlock all of the skills. So we'll see. Maybe some rally leads won't have the right skills because they were busy to do bastions or something. Alright, whatever. No help needed. We're going up the tree. We're about to run out of crystals soon. Oh, that's Jazzup, that's what do you call it? Domains. So it splits up our KD because we have a lot of City Hall 25 accounts. So we're actually in 2 different KvKs. Domain 1 is the main one, and then Domain 2 is where we put all of our farms that are not contributing and inactive players. So it's kind of a way to make matchmaking a bit easier, I guess. But wow, I don't know how I still have crystals. I'm actually pretty flabbergasted. There you go, call to arms 1 to 10. Alright, just work on call to arms 1 then. Yep. Just finish it up on call to arms 1. And then we're almost there. There you go. What other KvKs are going on today? I know there's a lot of openings today. If this one isn't too interesting, we could maybe skip over to other ones. But I think this one will be pretty interesting. There you go. Alright, Crystal Tech done. We will go ahead and watch, I guess, our allies take this pass. Is there any particular pass you guys want to watch? I want to watch this one, there's 4 passes. This one, that one, that one. Maybe 3105 would be pretty interesting to watch. We are not fighting because our allies are in this zone over here. Like our pass 5, our zone 5 is a safe zone. Our first fights are going to be in this altar, which was what, August 26th or something, like last week of August sometime. And then this zone 7 is going to be the official start of KvK, I guess, for us, which is going to be a 3-day fight against 2975, which is the people fighting in this zone. Actually, we'll be fighting these guys and Earth Camp in zone 7 on September 6th. So who are my power player in Arcadia? I mean, Peacemaker is definitely a really big power player. Highest KP in the KvK. Highest KP in the KD by a wide margin. But we have, like, you know, PJ. Who else is in? We have Baba, Russian Bear, Panda. This KvK actually boasts a large amount of 100 million power players. This being like low Imperium, high AC KvK. I was surprised to see that we have 300 players, 305 players above 100 mil power, which is kind of crazy. So definitely, probably a lot of swarms going to be happening this KvK at least. Or at least a lot of players capable of doing so. Yeah, Peace is number 2 in KP, so... just crazy. It's crazy because we, like, what? How many KvKs have we been in this year? 2? Like, there's some KDs that have been in 3-4 KvKs already this year, but we've been... I guess chilling in terms of KvKs. Alright, the passes are about to open here. Are they already open? I think they already are open. Are they swarming? Yeah, they are. Okay, so this side's swarming. Let me go ahead and put away the text for this. Again, this is 2975, so this is Fa, Arvix. I'm sure they have other leadership in this KD. Quan sounds familiar. Looks like they're swarming with Boudica and Herman as a debuffer, and is that Hua with Nevsky for damage? 1770, far ahead. Oh no, King Skill. Okay, I was about to say. Oh, imprison. Ooh, Brian's imprisoning some players here. Looks like we're imprisoning their big players so they can't random teleport. Yeah. That pass opening is about to be done. I guess we'll just watch until it finishes. Let me take off this poll. Earth Camp 59%. Wind Camp at 41%. We should be rooting for. I mean, our allies in this KvK are going to be Wind Camp. So, I guess I'm personally rooting for Wind Camp, which is the bottom side here. These guys. Looks like they're still not done with the pass opening. A bit later than Fa and friends. Hey, Mr. Payne? P2 Wine? Your KD's fighting in my domain too. I don't really... I feel like domains are... Like, I like being able... like, domain 1 and being able to shed off deadweight for matchmaking. But I feel like because of domain 2, having to go into KvK, it really ruins the KvK experience for lower seed KDs. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with our domain 2, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this zone we're not fighting because we have allies in our zone 5. We're sharing a zone 5 with our allies. That's just how Diplo broke down. But our allies on the other side of the map are going to be fighting against Fa and friends. So Fa and all of them were actually able to get their forts down first. It looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forts in 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 forts down in this area. And our allies have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coincidentally, though, both forts here are actually overlapping in terms of the line. I expect 75XC not to build, but we'll have to see if 1770 is actually going to be able to build their fort as well, because that's a pretty aggressive fort position, at least for them. We could watch. Did they take this pass yet? Not yet. So 3105 still waiting to take their pass. Are they gonna take this pass, or are they just gonna build from here? We'll go ahead and just watch the murder line rather of 75 DC and see as they clash. Again, this is the first KvK that I'll be watching William Wallace and CPO Prime or whatever. What are people calling the new CPO? It's gonna be the first KvK that those two are gonna be active. So we'll have to see if they're used. Yeah, there's beelining for the 75 DC fort. So it looks like this is going to be the main line that they try to defend here. 1486. They have some builders in this fort. No builders in either of these forts yet. I'm sure like the big players are still random teleporting and trying to get into these forts here. Oh, someone random teleported here. It looks like an Earth Camp player from 2975, a perfect TP spot for them. Gonna be able to reinforce this fort as much as they want to. 1770 player right on top of the 2975 fort as well. I'm gonna be curious if they choose to stay here and just harass the marches going into this fort, try to delay the build as much as possible. This is a pretty big zone, so I don't expect the forts to be threatened via flag burns for a while. Oh, we could actually see that there's a lot of random teleports next to the pass from 79 DC. Or 75 DC rather. Picking off marches of 1486 coming out of the pass here. We see William Wallace. I'm curious to see what they're pairing him with. William with... is that CPO? That's William CPO. Interesting pairing. I don't know why CPO Prime would be paired with William. I guess they have Liu Che with... Liu Che and Alex. William with CPO. I mean, I'd expect William to be paired with a Smite Damage Commander, but... yeah, I think they're rallying the pass still on this side. But if that's the case, the rally should have been up already, so... not exactly too sure what's going on that side, at least. I think we took our passes on this side already. Because you're wondering what we're doing in 2268. But we could go ahead and continue watching this pass, because they're going to be as annoying as possible here. They have a murder ball. They're demoralizing our allies right now, just wiping the marches as they walk out. And this is going to be a land grab. Like, you want to get as much territory as possible. And if you're able to deny people from getting out of the pass and going to this fighting zone, and perhaps even denying the builders of these flags, would be a huge play as well. But that is 2975, and it's kind of similar to what 960 does during pass openings as well, where it just random teleport all over the place. And if you're not organized enough to murder ball up your marches and push together, then you're gonna get sad faced out of the pass consistently. So we'll have to see how 1486 responds to the marches here. Looks like they're teleporting in some players to clear the murder ball, but I'd expect these cities in particular to not really care about trades and have a lot of speed ups and resources. So just, even if they're taking bad trades, like, it doesn't really matter too much for them. 1770 though, it looks like there is a similar thing happening with them. A lot of random teleports here. 86 mil actually pretty rallyable and swarmable, but you don't really want to be investing resources into attacking cities, I guess, especially as passes open. But you can see 14 hours here. We have 3 days. We have 4 days still on this, so this is definitely not a priority for Earth Camp and Fun Friends. their priorities to deny them building marches going into 1770s forts. This essentially being a 1 versus 2 right now because 3105 hasn't taken the pass yet is actually pretty impressive from 2975, at least with the opening. We'll have to see how our allies stabilize as territory gets built. Pluto going to 92 is 9. I don't know what's 92. Actually, don't know. You can see 3105 finally getting into the zone here. And I think 2975 is probably going to be headlining most of the action. While, there you go, we could see the murder ball of 1486. Although it looks like it's gotten pretty small as it's gone up. And this isn't an impressive murder ball by any means. But they are at least, oh, and this is 1770 on this side. So they are murder balling up, getting some players into, looks like first the 1486 forts, and then going into the 1770 fort. But I will say there are a lot of numbers coming from 2975, so what do you guys think is going to win the first murder ball? Is it going to be Wind Camp in 1486 and 1770, or is it going to be 2975 essentially by their lonesome? Oh, that's where BP's at. I'll be making a video about that for sure within the next week or two. But you can see both of them are bird balling up together here, as it looks like 2975 at least having a little bit of the positioning advantage. Yeah, I feel like the marches of 2975 that random teleported were able to delay the murder ball enough to where they're able to murder ball up in front of this fort here. And the longer they delay this fort, better. Because the flag lines, I actually don't even know if you could reach this in Skillful Craftsman. Probably not. But they're gaining more and more territory as this goes on. Slowly but surely inching up here. 1486, 1770. The first real murder ball. I will say though, because of all the random teleports of 2975, I feel like their murder ball is a bit smaller than the joint murder ball of 1770 and 1486. Although there are now some 3105 marches starting to pour in here. One, two, three, four, five, six. So 6 marches for some of these players here, which is, yeah, you definitely can't get 7 marches, but 6 marches into this zone is pretty impressive. Going full into attack. Oh, got a Cordoba. Cordoba Gajamada attacking the builders going into these forts. And it looks like this is actually going to be where the engagement point is going to be. It's the Brian Koo and friends charging into battle here against Fun Arvix. Oh, there's Lefty. I see Lefty. We could go ahead and go into dot mode here just to see what's going on. I mean, I would guess that 2975 is starting to get pushed a little bit here. The murder ball is kind of shifting more and more left. Some players in the south here looking for, I guess, some of the easy kills down here. Well, I guess it won't be that easy because is this Dirty Dan actually? Dirty Dan's just running in with his marches. I mean, shout out to Mr. Dansky. Dirty Dan Gaming. Bringing out the marches. Dirty Dan, if you guys don't know, he has an infantry march. That's crazy. He used to run like 5 cavalry, and that's it. But I saw that he has an archer march now. He is running 311. That's insane. He's reformed. How many marches does he have actually? What was it? 411? I guess he has 4 marches. He has 6 marches rather. I believe he's reformed and become a he's become infantry and archer user. I mean, I think we've had discussions about how, like, even if you are a cavalry or infantry or archer main, you at least have to have 1 march of each because of how strong the new commanders are, such as Liu Che and Herman Prime and Zhuge Liang. Like, they do so much for an open field and so much for gaining KP that it's a detriment if you don't run those marches in your murder ball. So it looks like there are a lot of random teleported cities from our allies as well in 1770, cutting off the reinforcements from 2975 on this side. So them winning this murder ball is a good sign. They were able to get builders into 1486's forts. How about HD's fort over here? They got builders in here as well. A lot of builders actually. 2 hours 16 minutes until that builds is actually super impressive. Oh, there you go. That's why we didn't see, we're missing some forts, is because we didn't 3105 didn't have the pass to put down a fort earlier. Oh, it looks like 1486 is making them half flag with forts, which is a strat we've seen. Not 1093, 1960, 20. Is it 29? Oh, it's, what's Apple's Kingdom again? 2429 did it against us as well when we fought them. Please stop going in and out of dot mode. Yeah, that's the thing about me. I fidget a lot. I think it comes from my habit of playing League of Legends. But I'll try to be more stable with the camera here. Let's see where the murder ball of our allies goes now that they're able to clear out the 1486 forts and have full control here. I think ideally for KvK spectating, I would have two computers or 2 accounts running. One of them would be the live and the other one I'd be looking for action and frantically scrolling around. Probably should look into that. But yeah, I mean, it looks like the 2975 murder ball got routed at least. So there isn't too much going on in terms of murder balling up. I'd expect them to be murder balling somewhere around here. I actually don't see the murder ball at all. This is the first B or A seed KvK I've played in a very long time, so it's a pretty interesting contrast from all the Imperiums that we usually watch. Yeah, our allies are pretty impressive for sure. I mean, they definitely needed to show their strength in this this zone. Wind camp again being seen as one of the strongest, if not the strongest camp of our allies. Unable to scout. They teleported. Oh, that's okay. So it looks like all the random teleporters are now starting to teleport back into territory. Not trying to pick off the marches, because right now 2975, what they need is as much marches in the front as possible, because their murder ball realistically just got wiped, which is why most of them are probably teleporting away or trying to reposition their teleports to be closer to the front rather than in the back. I think this already has full builders in it, so, but it looks like we are sending some marches over there just to make sure that they do not have full control of that area. The first couple of hours of zone opening is so interesting to me, because it really becomes, you know, a game of who can finish their forts first and who could actually finish their forts versus who can't. If you do get to build the 3 hours or 2.5 hours of a fort, it's just so hard to burn it out, or not hard, but tedious rather. It could be hard if they decide to defend it as well with garrisons and farm pillars and such, but it's like a 18 to 24 hour burn timer to burn out a fort, which is why it's so crucial to make sure you get your forts down. Let's go ahead and take an outside look and look at the flag lines here. What's Peng? Is this is wind camp as well, so I mean, I think 2975 is actually a flag ahead. I might be wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 flags versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think they are a flag ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're building the 6th. These guys are building the 5th. Although, looks like one of the flags at least were half flag. So, being a little bit faster with the building flags. We'll have to see if that'll prove to be troublesome, or if our allies will continue to have open field advantage. Because even if your flags are touching and you can rally down a fort, if you don't have open field, then there's no point. Yo, what's up, Panther? People asking me about you, saying why you migrated early. There are a lot of pass door openings right now, my goodness. But our allies are doing a really good job here. just chasing down the marches, making sure that they can't murder ball up. And I think this is going to be the story of the KvK. It's going to be quality versus quantity, with us being the quantity and our opponents being the quality. Like, they have a lot of marches here. Although I will say WinCamp has a lot of quality as well, but I'm just more so talking about the overall gist of the KvK. Like, an average march of our opponents will probably hit harder than an average march of ours. But yeah, they are continuing to clear this side of the map. And that, the question now is, where is the murder ball of 2975? Whoa. Sometimes when I scroll through the map, it just goes crazy like that. I don't really see too much of a murder ball at all from them, not gonna lie. It's more so just players all around going into the murder balls one by one, which is not the ideal successful strategy for them. Oh, 1486's flag lines, that's where they are. Let's see. Oh, they are here. Okay. At least there are some players here, at least. But I think these are just random teleporters. I don't think this is their murder ball per se. Let's go check the other flag line on this side. This one's completely empty, so yeah, these are like random teleports through. But again, this zone doesn't really matter as much. It's kind of bragging rights slash bastion quests slash plus 5% attack. There isn't really too much merits in dominating this zone per se. But I think it is a good vote of confidence that, at least so far as this pass is open, that our allies are doing phenomenally well. You can see Dirty Dan over here playing 1v9 around his city. I mean, he's doing his thing. There's more than just Dirty Dan here, by the way. There's another player. He's having fun doing his thing. A little bit of a murder ball scuffle on this side as well. Again, these are all just random teleports. I think realistically, when you see what's going on here, what is the goal of 2975? I guess it would be to like slow down the flag builds as much as possible, drain your opponents out by consistently fighting, and hopefully, you know, you trade well. But I don't know. I don't know if this is too productive of an action, just the random teleports. But I bet it's fun though, so. It is a for fun zone. I mean, with the random teleported cities, it's just an infinite stream of marches coming out from 2975, I guess. Consistently being a nuisance to their opponents. And this is like the shenanigans that happens when pass is open. Is that there's just so much going on. Although, There you go. This is the murder ball that we're looking for from 2975. Looks like they're finally going to be gaining advantages and control, rather, of their 2975 DC fortress with a murder ball coming from the pass here. Looks like the murder ball up here from 1770 and 1486 is going to get sandwiched from the south here, with a murder ball already in the north. So I mean, we should hold our breath here. This is not exactly a one zone from our allies whatsoever. If 2975 are able to regroup and retaliate, and 3105 is able to support, this might actually be a pretty contested zone with a sad face explosion coming out from our allies now. Just sad faced out with the sheer amount of marches coming from our opponents here. Looks like some marches in the back here trying to sneak and cut off the reinforcements to that murder ball that just happened. This Mamba City across this this river is actually in a perfect position to just continuously snipe marches going across this river. Let's go ahead and do a flag line check. I will say, I think the flag line of 2975 will be able to contest the 1486 forts. Pass is opened about 30 minutes ago. How long does Skillful Craftsman take? How long does it last? I actually don't know. Let me search this up. Rise of... Actually don't know. 1 hour? It lasts for an hour? Oh, they're definitely gonna touch then. (1486) is desperately trying to force on the half flag as much as possible, delay their attempt to this fort, but I don't think their flag line is going to be able to cover the fort fast enough here. So the open field around 1486's fort here is going to be so important. I remember this White Castle dude from last KvK. 2975 and 3105 grouping up is actually looking pretty menacing. They got a pretty big murder ball in the spots that they need control over. If they shift this murder ball down into 1486's forts and they're able to build these flags down, it's going to be really tough for 1486 and 1770 to ensure that this fort builds. There's still 2 hours left until the fort builds itself. They're just getting sad-faced out here. I actually don't know the time zones of these kingdoms as well. I'd be curious if any of these kingdoms are predominantly Asian, if there's going to be a little bit of a downtime with this pass opening. I'm not fighting? Yeah, this is the only fighting zone, which, you know, our fights in this KvK have begun, but unfortunately because of Diplo, we are sharing a zone with our allies on this side, so there isn't any real fights For us, our first fights are going to be in this zone 7, but this fight for our allies is actually going to be pretty important, which is why we're streaming and spectating it right now. Well, there you go. Allied murder ball pushing up to the 1486 fort. They got the memo that this fort is actually under threat. They're slowly but surely building their flag line up. I think if they build over this river, they're going to be in a solid spot. They need to get teleport spots over this river, in my opinion, is going to be the big advantage for them. They have their forts in a pretty strategic locations. This fort covering the river line on river bridge on this side. This fort being, you know, sandwiched by mountains and covering the mountain passes. Same with this fort, same with that fort. This fort doing the same thing. This fort covering the bridge. So, or actually don't know about this fort, but trying to block off as much of the territory as possible, as we start to see the murder ball starting to collide from 2975 and 1486 having the retreat call to regroup. I believe there will be some 1770 marches coming through, and then when 1770 comes into the murder ball, they're going to start pushing together, is I guess the call. And you can start to see some marches coming from the pass of 1770. 1770's flag line rather far away from the action of 1486, so their reinforcements and their refresh timers are going to be rather long compared to their allies. Yo, what's up, Leo? Yeah, I mean, there was some discussions about perhaps having zone 5 fights for everybody, but unfortunately those talks just fell through. I mean, we have a whole stream dedicated to the Diplo and the rundown of the KvK, so I'll leave that discussion there, but I mean, the zone 7 fight should be interesting at least. Right now we are watching... the opponents that we're watching are going to be the opponents we verse during Zone 7. I mean, during Altars first, and then during Zone 7 second, so... Yo, Texan. It's been a minute, I think, no? You beat 2230. I think KvK might be over. I mean, congrats. Hopefully it was a fun fight, Leo. There's so many KvK openings going on right now as well. So appreciate everyone for coming onto the stream, watching us watch our allies, I guess. This murder ball is actually looking pretty even, although I will say there are a lot more back and forth players. Actually, no, it's both sides. I think it's just more more seen because they're getting pushed back. With our allies holding off at least a little bit here. I should probably stalemating. I wouldn't say holding off just yet. There are a lot of sad faces rather, coming through in our allies' direction, although there are more reinforcements coming from the south. I mean, I feel like this is winnable for 2975 if they just commit, but maybe that's just me. Like, I feel like the marches are going way too back and forth. which is leaving a lot of the players that are just standing there and hitting and tanking kind of out to dry. But I feel like that is to the advantage of our allies here, just able to continue to get positioning and funnel them back into this choke. And this is exactly what they need to do. They need to gain advantages around their fort here so that they can build up that fort, build up, I believe there's a minute 50 left, a minute 56 left on that fort. That's the big, what do you call it? Objective rather for 2975 is to contest this fort as much as possible. They do have maybe two more flags after this one builds to go, perhaps 2 to 3 more flags before this fort is going to be swarmable and rallyable. So and then in the meanwhile, 2975's fort looks to be pretty safe as of now. 2975 has definitely had more success building their flag lines. I think they're 1 to 2 flags ahead of our allies. Our allies now starting to build a flag across the river, but the thing about crossing the river is that it's going to take a long time for the builder marches to get there. There are actually some 2975 marches starting to snipe what may be some farm accounts, which it would be detrimental to them. I mean, it's a couple mains, but I think this flag build's going super slow. But actually, they don't have a choice. They can't build into this area because there's too much terrain in the way, which might have been a mistake. Is that a mistake for their flag? But yeah, they're starting to build this so that they could build over here, but a bit of a weird corner for them to build, as the murder ball was pushed out. So they were able to win the murder ball, but they have to keep the pressure up. Dirty Dan, by the way, getting crazy random teleport spots. Like he was at a, or maybe this is the same place. I feel like he was down here before, and then now he's all the way up here. I don't know how he was able to target those specific locations. Plans on a range march? I don't know what my 7th march is going to be. I'm still thinking about it. I feel like I'm waiting for engineering to come out with another cycle before I invest into range, if that makes sense. Cordoba's pretty good. Cordoba's really good. Gajamada is alright. You know what I mean? Like that pair's pretty good, but engineering's technically 2 cycles away. I don't know if I want to invest into engineering now, and then in a KvK or 2, the next engineering commanders are going to come out, if that makes sense. We just had infantry. Next, if we go in the traditional cycle, would be archers, and then after that would be engineering. So Dirty Dan with the emotes as the murder ball passes the cities is kind of funny. This is those KvK fights in the other zone. Unfortunately, our zone. Unfortunately, our allies are. We're sharing a zone with our allies in the same zone 5, so we're in a different zone 5. So there's no fights for us for the foreseeable future. But our allies are duking it out on this bridge against Fun and friends. So. Wait, let me turn on the light. It's getting hot. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. If so, I'll turn it off. But the bridge fight of death here. The two murder balls. And I think bridge fights are so interesting because, at least in the 960 KvK, oh, this guy's going to be trading so positively. It's crazy. The 960 KvK, in the open field, this would be the only time I would trade positively, would be fighting across a bridge like this. It really streamlines all of the marches into one pixel. So it's so interesting, the back and forth that happens on a bridge. Even if you have a numbers disadvantage, you could kind of do decently on this bridge area. The 17 or 75 DC building a flag across this river. Absolutely huge for them to get some territory on this side. They will start to burn. They did already burn that fort. This fort is going to be burnable as well. You can see the double C march of Noah coming out, gonna pop this fort, and now they can start building the next couple of flags to continue to go towards this alliance fort of 1486. And yeah, look at this. They are now touching the alliance fort of 1486 after this flag builds, so they need to be so careful around this fort. They have a lot of random teleported marches, 75 DC due on the other side, that perhaps if they get a rally in and full max tech or close to max spenders around this fort, they could just swarm it down. It will be costly, but if there's no marches of 1486 to help them out and reinforce this fort, it could go down rather fast. Now the thing is, Zone 5 fights is very defender heavy, or very defender favored, especially when it comes to forts, because you will not have that good of rally capacity if you're a rally lead. Like, you might have a decent amount of rally capacity, but it's not going to be the 3 million in the fort. You need to have max capacity, I believe, to hit the 3 million. So it's always going to be costly to rally a fort in these early zones. But I don't know, with how KvKs work, this is going to be a pendulum. The murder ball is now getting routed of our allies. The murder ball is gathering up for 2975. I could see a world where, as the refreshes come from our allies, 2975 just start blitzing the fort and perhaps get a burn down, although there are some reinforcements now coming from the south of the fort. I think they just need to stay focused around the forts, maybe hold the choke around this area to make sure that they're close enough to the fort to fall back in case there are some swarmers from the south or something, but giving enough space so that they can't just run through them for free and swarm the fort. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting dilemma for 1486 here, although I still think they're in a pretty decent position. Actually, it looks like 2975's gonna start refreshing a little bit, or at least hitting the marches in the back here, and then perhaps refreshing. 12 minutes left on this flag. What's streaming going on? It's been going on for... I mean, I feel like they should still have skillful. Might be wrong though. 7 minutes on a flag. I'd be pretty surprised if they have skillful. No, they definitely do. It's just the flag's not full. And this is exactly what our allies need to do. Just full focus, full amount of troops, just going straight down into this side of the map, down into 1486's forts. And I will say 1770's flag builds are super impressive. Look how far up they are compared to, like, they are now going to be able to take down this fort and then carpet their own forts and defend it with flags, which is absolutely huge, allowing for the allies just to continuously have presence around this 1486 fort, and they don't have to ping pong around the HD fort anymore. If we look at 3105, they are building some flags up on this side as well, but you can start to see, I'm surprised they're not building flags to the right to carpet their, or protect and shield their own fort, but we'll see. This 1486 fort is going to be the objective of the zone here for both sides. One side to defend, which is our allies, one side to burn, which is our opponents. With everything that's been going on so far, I feel like our allies should be favored, but let me actually put up a poll. Saving for King Zone. Will 1486 build? Oh, this is what I was talking about, the pendulum, where now 2975 was able to refresh, and there were a lot of sad faces of 1486. This is a huge push from them. The flag is going to build in 3 minutes. This is going to be very, very dicey. If this flag was already built and there was a rally anchored on this fort, this fort would have fallen already. Just with the sheer amount of marches here. So the problem for 1770 is because their cities are so far away, and there's 2 random teleported cities with max stack players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marches from 1 player at a time here. They're getting picked off before they could even get to this murder ball. And now you could look at you could see the fort. It is being surrounded by 2975 here. 2975's flag is going to be building in 2 minutes. HD and 1770, 1486, they have to start getting control around this area. But the random teleports from 2975 actually proving to be very, very tedious. This random teleport going into this choke is so annoying for 1486, and this flag that they're building will be built in about 12 minutes, and it's going to random teleport the city out. But the amount of pressure that is being put into this fort area is going to be absolutely huge. Did the flag build yet? The flag has not built. It's going to be building in 1 minute. You can see the murder ball here. I would say that 2975 with their numbers can push down and pretty much wipe 1486 and 1770 and perhaps take control of this fort. But I mean, it looks to me, the way that they fight, there's a lot of back and forth movement and not too much pushing. It's rather playing for trades, at least for now. Like you could see, instead of just a continuous push down, which with the amount of numbers that they have, they should be able to do. And I guess if you are getting targeted, you could micro that 1 march that's getting targeted. I believe that's what 960 does, or has done in the past. Right now, they're not gaining any ground with the way that they're playing. You can see the front is here, but most of the players are in the back on this side. The flag has finally built, so they're teleporting in some players. So this is now rallyable and swarmable. They will have to defend this flag for 1 hour 40 minutes, and that's going to be a tall task against 2975 and 3105. Yeah, Leo, I mean, as a low spender, medium spender, I get you want to play for trades, but in a situation, like, you have to make a call as a kingdom if you're playing for trades or you're playing for objectives in this case. I guess the saving grace for them in this zone is that this zone doesn't really matter. This zone is kind of just like a freebie zone. Like, it's a zone 5 of a heroic anthem essentially, where it doesn't really play too much. Like, winning the zone doesn't mean you'll win or lose a KvK. But in my opinion, they had a great situation in their hands where they could have taken control of this area. But now that the reinforcements are pouring in from 1486, now that 1486 finally have some teleport spots, it's going to be hard for... And now that the random teleporters are going to start getting teleported out because these flags are building, I feel like this fort is in a safe spot compared to before, although there are still a lot of marches from 2975 around this fort and around this area to contest. Flag they're building block support. I mean, it's still rallyable right now. But yeah, they are trying to build flags so that they could start burning the touch points of the fort. I think the way territory works is what matters is what was put down first. So even if they build this flag and they build a flag here, the fort should still be rallyable because of the flag that's touching. But if they burn this flag that's touching, then the fort will be safe. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter, it's the same alliance. That's what I thought as well. I'm not a territory guy, so... I think their play is to build flags up here, then burn the touch point off, and then it'll be safe rather than anything else. Looks like they swarmed down this fort up here. 1770 did. So 1770 doing a great job being able to contest and continue to build. Look how fast they're able to build these flags here. Let's see how fast they're gonna be able to build the flag. They might actually be able to build a flag line to cover their own fort on this side, which would be absolutely huge for them. I don't even see 2975 trying to build on this side, so it looks like they completely gave up on contesting the HD fort and looking almost solely only at 1486 here. You guys like it like this or dot mode? How do you like spectating the fights here? Is it zoomed in or dot mode? Dot? I like it as well, just so that it's easier to see the tides of battle and where the murder balls are moving around. So we'll be spectating dot mode then. Look at the funnel of marches coming through. I definitely think if there was a time for this 1486 fort to fall for 2975, it would have been that one swing that they had. The rally coming in though, they are going to be trying to rally this. It is a Nevsky with Joan rally? Is that real? Nevsky Joan of Arc Prime rally. What is going on? I mean, they're swarming this thing too. My goodness, this rally is so swarmable. Wait, are they not gonna swarm the rally? There's no way, right? they should have enough reinforcements here. They are starting to swarm the rally now, but it does look like 2975 are full swarming this. Nevsky Joan would not be the rally of choice in my opinion. Gets insta swarm down. The first defense of this fort is successful. I'm curious as to why Nevsky Joan out of all the rallies. Like, that's not even a rally we see in Osiris League. That's very, very questionable for a rally. Misclick 100%. I mean, I'm surprised that they even sent it out. The Nevsky Joan, great open field march, not the best rally. It's not. It doesn't even have the best DPS. It doesn't have tankiness, which are like, you know, you either have a DPS rally or a tanking rally, but Nevsky Joan isn't the best of either, so kind of questionable, but they should have multiple more chances at this. But you can see the swarm was so detrimental to the murder ball that they're now starting to move back here. Looks like they are going to start refreshing. Arvix, being one of the swarmers, most probably is like, hey, we need full healthy marches to swarm down a fort, so let's refresh. But once one player starts refreshing and you're not in VC, then all the other players will start refreshing. It's like, damn, if he's leaving, I guess I'm leaving. It's like this mob mentality, one would say. And they've lost so much ground to this fort. I don't know if they'll be able to realistically have a chance to get another rally to connect with open field support. Can't start another one. Yeah, perhaps they're like, ah, whatever. They maybe saw it a bit too late. They're like, ah, whatever. Just send it. Let's just send the rally. See what happens. That was I mean, that was pretty questionable. First rally of the KvK, by the way. Nevsky Joan. Never thought I would be uttering such a sentence, but here we are. I think at this point, Skillful Craftsman has run out. Yeah, it looks like Skillful Craftsman has run out. So this is going to be the touch points of each of these areas here. Overall, yeah, I think it's about like a 50-50 situation here. Actually, wait, it's more than 50-50. I didn't even notice they're 2 past 9s. They have gained a lot of territory on this side. Not too sure what 3105 is doing with their flag lines either. It is more so 2975 on an island here. Although I'm sure there are some 3105 players in 75 DC rather. Yeah, they got a couple players in here. Best 4 cavalry marches. Oh, I need a cavalry main to let me know about that. I know solid 3. What would the 4 be? Leo, is that you? 4 cavalry marches. Give us a rundown. Let me get some water here. I think there is, if there is a troop type to run 4 marches, it would be cavalry. There are a lot of strong cavalry out there. But 4 is a lot. So would it still be Nev Joan, Bing William, XY Belisarius, Justinian, someone? Marbelli, XY William, and Justinian plus, I don't know, Chandragupta. If you have that many cav marches, just with extra cav damage, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But it's hard, like, I don't like giving advice for commanders I've never, or things I've never done, or commanders I've never used. So take that with a grain of salt, because I never used Chandragupta. I don't have it maxed, so. But on paper, I think that would work. By the way, this is looking really dominant for our allies right now. What Chandra, XY Belly, Justinian. Okay, there you go. I'll take Leo's word for it. I appreciate that. I'm gonna check out other people's streams. Let's see. Dragon Lancer. I mean, I do have the meme of Dragon Lancer being my favorite commander, so. Can we see the map? Yeah, let's do a little bit of a map review. Everything is starting to build out now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forts of our allies on this side. 6. I think this is also our allies' forts. Building a little bit of a nice flag line here. Looks like they're actually also building towards this pass, which is actually our opponent's pass. And their pass is pretty uncontested on this side. Although, wait, this is a weird map because this is so defendable for our allies, but this pass is so out in the open for our opponents. But anyways, the main thing right now is this 1486 fort touch points was under pressure, but now it looks like it is pretty safe with our allies being able to push out really well here. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. The 3105s took their pass late. Now they're slowly trying to build towards this area here, but it's looking pretty unlikely. And as we were talking about, 1770 being able to build a buffer flag between their forts and the opponent's flags here is just so good for them. And now they don't really have to worry about the fort unless they can't cover this space. If they can't build a flag a bit more north, then it's going to be a little bit of a problem, because there's this one space that 75 DC can build a flag it through. But I guess even if they build that flag, it's going to be rallyable from this flag here, so it's not going to be ideal for them. But there is a world where they can attack this fort if they really need to. But yeah, that is the map review. Been a back and forth in this area here. It does look like 2975 and their allies are finally starting to push into our allies here. Allies having looks like a full retreat call and regroup, but now that they have the teleport space around this area, I feel like they should still be good to defend this fort. Maybe this flag though might be in trouble. 10 minutes for this flag to build with no open field support. Not that much oh, the back flag, interesting. Not that much city support either for reinforcements. There is going to be some threats on this flag. $27.48, like in this wanting to die. I mean, in terms of relative strength, like, where would you put Earth Camp in their coalition versus Water and Greenwood? Like, there's an argument that they are second or third, right? But they're versing on what on paper should be the strongest camp on our side, which is Wind Camp. So I mean, in terms of this KvK as a whole, if Wind Camp if Wind Camp would lose this zone, in terms of relative strength, that bode really negatively for the rest of the KvK, because there's going to be harder opponents in other zones, if that makes sense. By the way, forgot we like dot mode here, so we're gonna be watching in dot mode. And like, this flag is getting scouted. There's probably gonna be a rally on it pretty soon. They have some swarmer marches around this. Dirty Dan just standing on top of the flag here, menacingly. Oh, we get taxed. Great. That's why I'm not gathering, I guess. I'm about to pay taxes if you're broke. Yeah, they're just dry swarming this, actually. This is Dirty Dansky? No. Yeah, this flag was going to be under threat. Although, are they trying to reinforce this? There's no way, right? No, they're just swarming the swarmers. I mean, maybe they're getting the imp in there. The imp did reinforce that. The William Wallace. This could be pretty costly if they continue to push the murder ball up. We'll see how much they actually prioritize this building flag here. But yeah, it does look like 2975 have a ton of marches around here. It looks like it is gonna go down. White damage super low. And it is down from our allies. So, I mean, Earth Camp showing that, hey, like, this is not an over zone yet. We have the ability to burn your flags. And perhaps they could transition that into the ability to burn their forts, which would be absolutely huge for them. But just a huge amount of marches at this choke point over here for 1770, 1480, 1486. Just making it so hard for 29 DC, or 75 DC rather. Why did I say 29? I was 29, 75. Making it so hard for them to push towards this 1486 fort. Annoyed pride. I would appreciate it. How's Chisco's KvK going? Let me take a look. What zone is this? Yo, that zone's huge. My goodness. And I've never played Tides, but maybe that's a normal zone, but I mean, I guess this zone's pretty big as well. Let's see the touch points. 1 hour 20 minutes until this fort builds. So that means in 1 hour 20 minutes I can go eat lunch. I mean, it's not been a dominant win. There was one flag that burnt down. Oh, I just realized they burnt the flag that was building here. Oh, that's huge, actually. So 1770 taking a lot of control off this side as well. I think they should be building north as well to burn the 3105 fort. So absolute domination from 1770 on this side. And then 1486 with 1770 on this side has been able to stabilize their building fort. Which did look dicey for about 30 minutes there. We're not fighting in this zone, unfortunately, because we have our allies are sharing this zone with us, so we do not have a fight in this zone. But we will be fighting during altars, which should be next week. The next week? The week after next week. And then this zone, Zone 7, against Earth Camp, which is fighting right now, that will be the zone to watch in on September 6th. September 3rd, I believe. And September 6th is going to be Kingston. There you go. Just a bit shorter. It's a bit sooner than originally thought. I know the dates because I was invited to go to Vegas on that September 6th weekend, but I had to decline so that I could play KL. So if you guys want to watch that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the stream, send out to your friends. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. They are pushing pretty heavy now. And both sides. Oh, it's lefty. Guy barb chaining with siege marches. Interesting. Well, I mean, this zone looks to be in control. Now with all the cities that teleported and all that stuff, I feel like this is going to be a very, very safe area. So, yeah, shout out to our allies stabilizing the zone. I don't know, maybe tomorrow we'll continue to stream this fight if there is a substantial fight going on. But I guess for now there isn't really too much going on, just this back and forth fight. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat some lunch. Yeah, I'm gonna edit the, what do you call it, that we just did? Esmeralda's prayer that we just did, the godlike Esmeralda's prayer, and hopefully post that today. So appreciate everyone for watching. Subscribe to the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. I'm gonna go ahead and host Only Farmer because she's from the same KD as me, spectating the exact same thing, and she does my titles and she's great. So appreciate everyone for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Give Only Farmer some love when I get there as well.